LIU gets to the line, John, almost over 25 free throws per game, so they like to drive the ball.
Hermanson goes for the steal, knocks it aside, picked up by Feidanga, who throws it down with the one-hand power stuff.
Yeah, the big fella not only showing some defensive skills with the steal, handling the ball, and finishing at the end of the break.
Glenn Feidanga, junior, 6'8", 240 pounds, out of the Central African Republic. Broom, little short on the jumper. Tracked down by Edekugo. In the post. Can't finish. Rebound knocked away, foul zone, and picked up by Feidanga.
Yeah, if you're LIU, your goal is to make sure Kane Broom takes a lot of contested shots. That possession, they did a good job of that.
Trevin Woods and Feidanga, along with Hermanson, Santil, and Hernandez. Hermanson can't finish off the dribble. Broom bobbling it. That's why a travel was not called on that. Foul zone, fakes the handoff. You have to get a hand up on Buovac, but he's short. Feidanga with the rebound.
Buovac transferred from New Mexico State, sat out last year. Matter of fact, missed 6 weeks early in the season due to a forearm injury. He's been really vital in Sacred Heart's latest success.
And there's Hermanson's second time, Joe, we've seen him get to the basket, and all of a sudden the Blackbirds' lead is 8.
Talk about both of these two teams. Look at the shooting percentages right there. LIU 9 out of 15. And you know what, John? It's been a balanced attack for LIU. Out of the 7 players that have played in this game, 6 have scored.
One other number to keep an eye on for the Blackbirds, already 16 of their 19 points have come in the paint. In their win against Sacred Heart earlier this year, they had 54 points in the paint, something we'll keep an eye on. Edekugo working on Frank, who has a foul. Buovac leans in, tough shot. Foul zone the rebound. And he gets hacked. They're going to get that foul on Iverson Fleming, who checked in during that break. And it looks like they're going to call that foul on the floor, so they'll be inbounding on the baseline here.
Well, it's going to be a fast-paced game. There's going to be teams that wear down and will have a tendency to foul.
Talk about fast-paced. Broom off the inbound, swoops in right for the layup.
Yeah, he's a scoring machine. We talked about it enough already. He can score in so many different ways.
Santil, he'll run the point with Hermanson on the bench. Gets the high screen from Trevin Woods, but nothing there. 10 to shoot. Frank can't hit the 3. Not that time. And Woods gets held down low by Edekugo.
It's a little play where you pop out your four-man, you hand off, very simple play, hard to guard. Broom, who's lefty, going to his left, finishes it nicely.
That foul on Edekugo is first. Frank on foul zone. To the rim, hands it off Hernandez. Nice dish from Iverson Fleming, and Hernandez has 6.
Iverson Fleming, again, not a great scorer, but somebody who is athletic and get to the rim. That time he creates a play for his teammate.
Nice pump and spin by Edekugo, but he can't finish. Frank gets the rebound.
You love the way Frank plays, John. He scores inside, he scores outside, he blocks shots, and he gets fundamental rebounds with 2 hands.
Hernandez loses the ball out of bounds. A little too fancy with that crossover, and it'll be Pioneer basketball.
Here's Frank. This is where he's really good at. A little bit off the post where he can make a play for himself or his teammate. Fleming, the nice drive, the beautiful dish. Remember, when you see your teammate drive into the basket, you have to put yourself in a position where the player with the ball can see you. Hernandez, that time, was right in the gap, caught it and laid it in. Good execution.
Chris Robinson in the game for the first time for the Pioneers. Edekugo heads to the bench. McKnight falls down. Foul zone, the 3, way short. Hernandez the rebound. 2-on-2 fast break. Fleming to the basket, finishes.
Yeah, quick shot. Not a good shot by Falzone. It almost looked like he thought the shot clock was running down. When you shoot long ones, they have long rebounds. They lead to easy basket.
Play. Down low, Hernandez. 3 for him. Rebounded by Frink. He finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, and we highlighted Frink. We talked about how he's a beast around the basket. He looks like an NBA player playing in a college game. He goes up with his left hand. Remember, almost 17 points, 9 rebounds. Sacred Heart's got to do a better job of keeping him away from the glass.
Allen to the rim. Off the side of the backboard, but he gets his own rebound. Did not hit the rim, just 9 to shoot. McKnight, stutter dribble to the rim, lefty layup.
Yeah, that's what Quincy McKnight does well. He's not yet adept at shooting the 3, but he can go to the rim right or left. Good finish by the freshman.
Hermanson fires the triple. And they're going to get Frink going over the back, crashing the offensive boards.
You know what, John? You talk about slow start, quick start. It really doesn't matter in a game like this. Both teams will run up and down. Both teams will play a lot of possessions.
The Blackbirds, the 6th seed in the conference tournament. By the way, they were 6th in the coaches' poll in the preseason. Sometimes the coaches get it right, and they've played a lot better basketball in the last month, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams have certainly played better. There was a time where both coaches thought that their teams were inconsistent, especially defensively. But as you mentioned, Sacred Heart win 9 out of 10 and 4 the last 14 games. Finished tied for second, their best finish in the Northeast Conference.
Jordan Allen can't finish, and now they're going to jump it up. Clean play. Both players hitting the floor, trying to get the basketball. Jump ball will send the ball to the Blackbirds. And starting this game, Jordan Allen, who, by the way, is 5th in the NEC in field goal percentage, is 0 for 3. But he's been a big part in getting Sacred Heart here. We talked about how they finished the year 10 and 4. They won the tiebreaker, giving them the 3rd seed with Fairleigh Dickinson and, of course, St. Francis of Brooklyn. They finished in the middle of those 3 teams.
And remember, Sacred Heart at one time was 2 and 4. Coach Latina was very down on his team. He was kind of perplexed as to why they weren't playing well. But they had a great win against Mount St. Mary's here, and they turned their season around.
Frink misses from point blank with the left hand. Now Broom on the move, and Santillo fouls him on the ground. No free throws, Sacred Heart possession.
Yeah, and that's what Broom does the best. You know, he gets to the line almost 7 times a game. The ball is in his hands a lot. And look for LIU, as we talked about earlier, changing defenses and maybe even switching defenders on Kane Broom.
Santillo draws that matchup early. In their previous matchup this year, Joe, we also saw Joel Hernandez on him from time to time as well.
Yeah, I like that matchup because Hernandez has size and he can disrupt him in terms of contesting his jump shot. Now, right there, LIU traps quickly as Kane Broom comes off the ball screen. That's good strategy.
Foul zone on the offensive glass off the missed 3. 2 in the paint. We're tied at 4.
And if you're going to trap the ball, that means you're at a disadvantage in the back of that defense. 3 guys got to cover 4, which allowed Sacred Heart to get the extra shot and the finish.
And there's the athleticism from Santillo getting to the basket for the lay-in.
You know, Santillo is one of those players that's kind of been under-publicized, if you will. You got Frank, you got Hermanson, but Santillo's a big part of their success.
To the rim, good, and the foul. You talked about Kane Broom's quicknesses. Well, there's his ups.
Well, we talk a lot about Kane Broom playing with the ball. Watch him here. You can't see him, but he played perfectly without the ball. He was overplayed. Remember, LIU's going to try and prevent his touches, so they're going to overplay. Kane Broom walked him up and then back-cut it. Created space, no weak side help, or rather, weak side help was there, but too late. Now you got the N1. Perfect back cut, beautifully executed by Sacred Heart.
Foul on Norazana, his first play. Down low, Hernandez. 3 for him. Rebounded by Frink. He finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, and we highlighted Frink. We talked about how he's a beast around the basket. He looks like an NBA player playing in a college game. He goes up with his left hand. Remember, almost 17 points, 9 rebounds. Sacred Heart's got to do a better job of keeping him away from the glass.
Allen to the rim. Off the side of the backboard, but he gets his own rebound. Did not hit the rim, just 9 to shoot. McKnight, stutter dribble to the rim, lefty layup.
Yeah, that's what Quincy McKnight does well. He's not yet adept at shooting the 3, but he can go to the rim right or left. Good finish by the freshman.
Hermanson fires the triple. And they're going to get Frink going over the back, crashing the offensive boards.
You know what, John? You talk about slow start, quick start. It really doesn't matter in a game like this. Both teams will run up and down. Both teams will play a lot of possessions.
The Blackbirds, the 6th seed in the conference tournament. By the way, they were 6th in the coaches' poll in the preseason. Sometimes the coaches get it right, and they've played a lot better basketball in the last month, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams have certainly played better. There was a time where both coaches thought that their teams were inconsistent, especially defensively. But as you mentioned, Sacred Heart win 9 out of 10 and 4 the last 14 games. Finished tied for second, their best finish in the Northeast Conference.
Jordan Allen can't finish, and now they're going to jump it up. Clean play. Both players hitting the floor, trying to get the basketball. Jump ball will send the ball to the Blackbirds. And starting this game, Jordan Allen, who, by the way, is 5th in the NEC in field goal percentage, is 0 for 3. But he's been a big part in getting Sacred Heart here. We talked about how they finished the year 10 and 4. They won the tiebreaker, giving them the 3rd seed with Fairleigh Dickinson and, of course, St. Francis of Brooklyn. They finished in the middle of those 3 teams.
And remember, Sacred Heart at one time was 2 and 4. Coach Latina was very down on his team. He was kind of perplexed as to why they weren't playing well. But they had a great win against Mount St. Mary's here, and they turned their season around.
Frink misses from point blank with the left hand. Now Broom on the move, and Santillo fouls him on the ground. No free throws, Sacred Heart possession.
Yeah, and that's what Broom does the best. You know, he gets to the line almost 7 times per game. The ball is in his hands a lot. And look for LIU, as we talked about earlier, changing defenses and maybe even switching defenders on Kane Broom.
Santillo draws that matchup early. In their previous matchup this year, Joe, we also saw Joel Hernandez on him from time to time as well.
Yeah, I like that matchup because Hernandez has size and he can disrupt him in terms of contesting his jump shot. Now, right there, LIU traps quickly as Kane Broom comes off the ball screen. That's good strategy.
Foul zone on the offensive glass off the missed 3. 2 in the paint, we're tied at 4.
And if you're going to trap the ball, that means you're at a disadvantage in the back of that defense. 3 guys got to cover 4, which allowed Sacred Heart to get the extra shot and the finish.
And there's the athleticism from Santillo getting to the basket for the lay-in.
You know, Santillo is one of those players that's kind of been under-publicized, if you will. You got Frank, you got Hermanson, but Santillo's a big part of their success.
To the rim, good, and the foul. You talked about Kane Broom's quicknesses. Well, there's his ups.
Well, we talk a lot about Kane Broom playing with the ball. Watch him here. You can't see him, but he played perfectly without the ball. He was overplayed. Remember, LIU's going to try and prevent his touches, so they're going to overplay. Kane Broom walked him up and then back cut it. Created space, no weak side help, or rather, weak side help was there, but too late. Now you got the N1. Perfect back cut, beautifully executed by Sacred Heart.
Foul on Norazana, his first play. Down low, Hernandez. 3 for him. Rebounded by Frink. He finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, and we highlighted Frink. We talked about how he's a beast around the basket. He looks like an NBA player playing in a college game. He goes up with his left hand. Remember, almost 17 points, 9 rebounds. Sacred Heart's got to do a better job of keeping him away from the glass.
Allen to the rim. Off the side of the backboard, but he gets his own rebound. Did not hit the rim, just 9 to shoot. McKnight, stutter dribble to the rim, lefty layup.
Yeah, that's what Quincy McKnight does well. He's not yet adept at shooting the 3, but he can go to the rim right or left. Good finish by the freshman.
Hermanson fires the triple. And they're going to get Frink going over the back, crashing the offensive boards.
You know what, John? You talk about slow start, quick start. It really doesn't matter in a game like this. Both teams will run up and down. Both teams will play a lot of possessions.
The Blackbirds, the 6th seed in the conference tournament. By the way, they were 6th in the coaches' poll in the preseason. Sometimes the coaches get it right, and they've played a lot better basketball in the last month, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams have certainly played better. There was a time where both coaches thought that their teams were inconsistent, especially defensively. But as you mentioned, Sacred Heart win 9 out of 10 and 4 the last 14 games. Finished tied for second, their best finish in the Northeast Conference.
Jordan Allen can't finish, and now they're going to jump it up. Clean play. Both players hitting the floor, trying to get the basketball. Jump ball will send the ball to the Blackbirds. And starting this game, Jordan Allen, who, by the way, is 5th in the NEC in field goal percentage, is 0 for 3. But he's been a big part in getting Sacred Heart here. We talked about how they finished the year 10-4. They won the tiebreaker, giving them the 3rd seed with Fairleigh Dickinson and, of course, St. Francis of Brooklyn. They finished in the middle of those 3 teams.
And remember, Sacred Heart at one time was 2-4. Coach Latina was very down on his team. He was kind of perplexed as to why they weren't playing well. But they had a great win against Mount St. Mary's here, and they turned their season around.
Frank misses from point blank with the left hand. Now Broom on the move, and Santil fouls him on the ground. No free throws, Sacred Heart possession.
Yeah, and that's what Broom does the best. You know, he gets to the line almost 7 times a game. The ball is in his hands a lot. And look for LIU, as we talked about earlier, changing defenses and maybe even switching defenders on Kane Broom.
Santil draws that matchup early. In their previous matchup this year, Joe, we also saw Joel Hernandez on him from time to time as well.
Yeah, I like that matchup because Hernandez has size and he can disrupt him in terms of contesting his jump shot. Now, right there, LIU traps quickly as Kane Broom comes off the ball screen. That's good strategy.
Foul zone on the offensive glass off the missed 3. 2 in the paint. We're tied at 4.
And if you're going to trap the ball, that means you're at a disadvantage in the back of that defense. 3 guys got to cover 4, which allowed Sacred Heart to get the extra shot and the finish.
And there's the athleticism from Santil getting to the basket for the lay-in.
You know, Santil is one of those players that's kind of been under-publicized, if you will. You got Frank, you got Hermanson, but Santil's a big part of their success.
To the rim, good, and the foul. You talked about Kane Broom's quicknesses. Well, there's his ups.
Well, we talk a lot about Kane Broom playing with the ball. Watch him here. You can't see him, but he played perfectly without the ball. He was overplayed. Remember, LIU's going to try and prevent his touches, so they're going to overplay. Kane Broom walked him up and then back-cut it. Created space, no weak side help, or rather, weak side help was there, but too late. Now you got the N1. Perfect back cut, beautifully executed by Sacred Heart.
Foul on Norazana, his first. Broom on the board with 3. Santil, they trap him off that screen. Hernandez to the rim with the finish.
Pure athleticism. Quick off the dribble, strong to the rim.
High screen. Foul zone, can't shoot it. But he goes to the basket. Long 3, McKnight. Rebounded by Hermanson.
Again, if you're going to double team the ball and leave someone open the perimeter, McKnight's the guy you want to leave open.
How about that swoop to the basket? Hermanson, a little Euro step to the left hand.
Yeah, Hermanson does it all. He's 46% from the field, John. 37 from 3. He's almost automatic, almost 90% from the foul line. And here's the deal. Over 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He very rarely makes a poor decision.
Broom off the bounce, can't hit the 3. Hermanson the rebound. Now Joel Hernandez on the move. Evades Broom. Left hand. Can't finish. Knocked around. Picked up by McKnight. That's Hohen to McKnight. He's trapped. Gets it back. Finishes with the hook shot.
And Sean Hohen has been a pleasant surprise for the Sacred Heart team. This freshman has really come on strong. As a matter of fact, in 2 games, John, against LIU, 32 points, 11 assists.
Career high 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists in those 2 games put together. So that has been his best matchup this year.
And here's where
institution there will not be allowed. So LIU Brooklyn will send out all of their starters except for Frank, who's on the bench. Long 3, Santil. He's got 5.
And not really known as a three-point shooter, only 27%. John, he had a ton of time. He got the seams, beautiful backspin and follow-through.
Subbing in for Sacred Heart during that break, Mate Bouvas, the 6'7" three-point shooter. He's in the game. Foul zone, looks inside, hits the cutting Mofi Edekugo, checking in, getting his first basket.
Yeah, Edekugo is one of those garbage-type players. You know, he's an undersized 4-man, doesn't really shoot the ball well, but he has a nose for the ball and can finish around the rim.
Hernandez to the basket. Floater off glass, and that's that athleticism we were talking about earlier, Joe.
Yeah, and LIU gets to the line, John, almost over 25 free throws per game, so they like to drive the ball.
Hermanson goes for the Broom on the board with 3. Santil, they trap him off that screen. Hernandez to the rim with the finish.
Pure athleticism. Quick off the dribble, strong to the rim.
High screen. Falzone can shoot it, and he goes to the basket. Long 3, McKnight. Rebounded by Hermanson.
Again, if you're going to double team the ball and leave someone open the perimeter, McKnight's the guy you want to leave open.
How about that swoop to the basket? Hermanson, a little Euro step to the left hand.
Yeah, Hermanson does it all. He's 46% from the field, John. 37 from 3. He's almost automatic, almost 90% from the foul line. And here's the deal. Over 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He very rarely makes a poor decision.
Broom off the bounce, can't hit the 3. Hermanson the rebound. Now Joel Hernandez on the move. Evades Broom. Left hand. Can't finish. Knocked around. Picked up by McKnight. That's Hohen to McKnight. He's trapped. Gets it back. Finishes with the hook shot.
And Sean Hohen has been a pleasant surprise for the Sacred Heart team. This freshman has really come on strong. As a matter of fact, in 2 games, John, against LIU, 32 points, 11 assists.
Career high 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists in those 2 games put together. So that has been his best matchup this year.
And here's where
institution there will not be allowed. So LIU Brooklyn will send out all of their starters except for Frink, who's on the bench. Long 3, Santil. He's got 5.
And not really known as a three-point shooter, only 27%. John, he had a ton of time. He got the seams, beautiful backspin and follow-through.
Subbing in for Sacred Heart during that break, Mate Buavas, the 6'7" three-point shooter. He's in the game. Foul zone, looks inside, hits the cutting Mofi Edekugo, checking in, getting his first basket.
Yeah, Edekugo is one of those garbage-type players. He's an undersized 4-man, doesn't really shoot the ball well, but he has a nose for the ball and can finish around the rim.
Hernandez to the basket. Floater off glass, and that's that athleticism we were talking about earlier, Joe.
Yeah, and LIU gets to the line, John, almost over 25 free throws per game, so they like to drive the ball.
Hermanson goes for the...
Here's Frink. This is where he's really good at. A little bit off the post where he can make a play for himself or his teammate. Fleming, the nice drive, the beautiful dish. Remember, when you see your teammate drive into the basket, you have to put yourself in a position where the player with the ball can see you. Hernandez, that time, was right in the gap, caught it and laid it in. Good execution.
Chris Robinson in the game for the first time for the Pioneers. Edekugo heads to the bench. McKnight falls down. Foul zone, the 3, way short. Hernandez the rebound. 2-on-2 fast break. Fleming to the basket, finishes.
Yeah, quick shot. Not a good shot by Falzone. It almost looked like he thought the shot clock was running down. When you shoot long ones, they have long rebounds. They lead to easy baskets.
Broom can't finish with the left hand. Rebounded by Narazana, who checked back into the game along with Hermanson. Hernandez, strong baseline. He's going to get fouled on the floor by Kane Broom before that attempt.
Yeah, see, what LIU doing is they're using their defense to create opportunities offensively. Here's Fleming. Okay, he gets the outlet pass. He's on the run. It's a little step. Way to be under control. Nice soft finish.
Jordan Allen back into the game for Sacred Heart. Tevin Falzone will take his first break. Frink working on Buavats. Hernandez cross-court 3. Frink the rebound. Can't finish. Rebound picked up by Broom. Back the other way. Broom alley-oop for McKnight, but he can't finish. Buavats deflects the rebound, but Hernandez has it. Blackbird's on the move. Hernandez outside the Hermanson, and he's going to reset. No one covers Frink for three. Got it.
Just a bad job defensively in transition by Sacred Heart. Not only do you have to get back, but you got to find your man. If you can't find your man, you got to find an open man. You don't want to leave Frink open.
A 39% three-point shooter. He's their top three-point shooter, even though he's their power forward. A foul. Broom going to the basket is whacked on the arm. Arizona does not like the call, but it's not going to matter.
And, you know, don't forget the job that Hermanson does. He could have jacked up this three right here. Look at his head is up. Head is up. No one's guarding my man Frink. Don't blink. It's in the hoop.
Hernandez and Zana will head to the bench. Zana, that was his second foul. Looks like Frink will head to the bench as well. So you have Fleming, Hermanson, Trevin Woods, Feidanga on the floor all at the same time. Tough shot by Broom, and that's why he's the NEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's a great player. It was a tough shot because he faded away, but he has great concentration and great confidence.
Broom has 7 to lead Sacred Heart, but they trail by 11. Hermanson off the dribble. Rebounded by Jordan Allen. McKnight right by Hermanson. Deflected out of bounds from behind. It'll stay Pioneer basketball on the baseline.
Kane Broom. What a great player. He's only a sophomore. He gets a little flip right here. He's stepping back off 1 foot, falling away, knocks it in.
If you're a defender, you just have to tip your cap on that. Broom can't finish. Little left-handed hook shot. Rebound deflected. Fleming comes up with it. And now he slows it down.
I don't like that decision because if he got the ball to Hermanson on the right side, you had a 2-on-1 opportunity.
15 to shoot. Santiel right around McKnight, and no.
Latina's got to call a timeout. He's got to look maybe to change into his own defense. Too much dribble penetration by the Blackbird guards.
Santiel with the foul on the way to the basket. They'll call that on the baseline. Non-shooting foul. Second on Santiel. Now him and Zana both have 2.
You know, when you get this late in the season, your rotation usually drops. Both teams play about 8 guys. Foul trouble's key right here.
And Kane Broom really carrying the load for the Pioneers early, not getting a whole lot of help from the rest of his team. And now we're going to see that matchup. Joel Hernandez checks in for Santiel. It looks like we're going to see Iverson Fleming now have the duty to guard Kane Broom.
Yeah, LIU's got a lot of good athletes, so I told you, I think they're going to switch guys throughout the game.
Tough shot, but Broom makes the contested three.
You know, it's funny, his shot doesn't have great backspin, but it always finds its way to the net. He was covered and about 28 feet away.
He has 10 to lead all scorers. Hermanson. Bumped on the way to the basket. And we'll head to break.
Kane Broom, #1, the #1 player in this conference. He gets a ball.
As the St. Francis Terriers hosting the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers in Brooklyn Heights. That's more of a defensive matchup. We've had a bit of a high-paced game so far today.
Yeah, that's the 4-5 matchup. Remember, there's a ton of parity in this league. That game will be close just like all the others.
Sacred Heart controls. Kane Broom. Iverson Fleming draws that matchup. He's played well. Broom's made some very difficult shots. 12 to shoot. Allen the high screen. There's the hedge. Allen goes baseline. He's bumped out of bounds by Feidanga. That's going to be the 7th team foul on the Blackbirds. So it'll be a 1-and-1 situation for Jordan Allen.
Yeah, it's a good possession by Sacred Heart. They ran through some stuff. They tried to get Kane Broom open on the left side. They ended with a pick and roll, pick and pop. And they got Jordan Allen, who's an undersized 4-man. He's actually their 5-man right now with that Falzone on the bench. And he got the ball about 15 foot away from the rim and tried to make a dribble move. Good offensive move. LIU could do nothing but foul.
Tevin Falzone back into the game. Sean Hohen back into the game. Buavats and Chris Robinson will head to the bench. Jordan Allen, graduate student, 6'6", 210 pounds. Makes the second.
Yeah, he's a transfer from Hofstra. He's had good success here. And again, he's undersized for his position, but he can make plays.
Hermanson finds the open man. Iverson Fleming the three.
And Fleming has done a terrific job off the bench. He's 2 for 2. That's his 5th point. He's also played solid defense in this game.
And Fleming was taken out of the rotation for a few games earlier in the year. He's played in just 25 as McKnight gets to the basket and finishes with a nice pass. But now Fleming's back in the rotation. He's playing well. Hernandez. Frink another open three. That one's short, but Hernandez tracks down the rebound. Frink on the cut, and he's fouled. We'll see if they get that on foul zone or Allen. Both were in the neighborhood. They'll get that on foul zone. That's his first.
Here's McKnight. It's a nice front cut. He beat his man on the front cut, laid it in. If you're guarding McKnight, you got to keep yourself between.
Fleming the three. Got it.
Again, Sacred Heart is not doing a good job, obviously, on the defensive glass. That second shot turned into 3 points.
15-point lead, the biggest so far tonight. Stolen by Hermanson. And no one's going to catch Fleming, who lays it in. 17-point lead. Sacred Heart wants timeout. Anthony Ludens tried to get a selfie with Joe DeSantis before this game started. The line was out the door. And as you can see, LIU has really stepped it up and played a lot better in February heading into this tournament, and it's showing today with the 17-point lead.
Remember, John, you love me around here. It's like my second home, buddy.
They call him the mayor in these parts. Broom off the spin, another tough shot. What a rebound by Falzone, finishes out the foul.
That's a big answer by the senior. Out of the timeout, Sacred Heart needed to break up this momentum. They got the ball to their man, Kane Broom. Kane couldn't finish. Here it is, a little spin, a shot he normally can make out of nowhere. Foul zone, and the finish.
And perhaps more importantly, second foul on Jerome Frink. So that's 2 on Zana, 2 on Frink, and 2 on Santil, 3 Blackbird starters. And we talked about it in the open, Tevin Falzone, a huge factor inside for Sacred Heart, determining if they win or lose.
Yeah, he's 15 points, almost 15 in wins, almost only 8 in losses. But right now, Sacred Heart switches to the zone. I like this move. It'll take away some of the dribble penetration from the LIU Blackbirds.
More than 20 points in the paint for the Blackbirds, and they've been getting to the rim. There's the open three, and Iverson Fleming is red hot. He now has 11 points. He's only a 26% three-point shooter.
Well, the scouting report says Iverson Fleming's more of a driver, only 26% from 3, but he's knocking them in like he's been doing it his whole life.
He's only 6 points off his season high. We're in the first half. Jordan Allen, the long jumper, that way short. Rebound pulled down by Trevin Woods.
There seems to be no flow in Sacred Heart's offense, so they got to pick up their defense and create some easy baskets in transition.
Trevin Woods misses that three. Room in transition. He slips and he travels.
I thought that would be a good opportunity to create an easy basket. You got a semi-transition break. You look at Broom, who's been terrific. Latina looks perplexed. But you had your man with the ball in a numbers situation, and he tried to make maybe one too many moves, and he slipped.
As Hermanson hits his first free throw.
Well, Sacred Heart is being dominated. Jack Perry's got his team ready. 26 points in the paint by LIU. 10 fast break points to none for Sacred Heart. And how about the bench? 15 points, 13 by Iverson.
Second offensive rebound on a free throw in the last few minutes by the Blackbirds.
Yeah, if you can see Anthony Latina's face, there's smoke coming out of his ear. He's very angry.
And no one covers Feidanga on the screen and roll for the layup.
You know what? That's 28 points in the paint. You know what, John? It boils down to a simple game. You got to work your tail off to get easy shots and work your tail off on the other end to prevent your opponent from getting easy shots. Right now, LIU is getting a ton of easy shots. 28 points in the paint, 10 on fast break.
Outside. Hohen the three, can't finish. Rebounded down low off of Jordan Allen. Blackbird basketball. And Joe, we talked about it early in this game, how the scoring concentration for the Blackbirds is with the starters. Well, more than 30% of their points in this game have come from the bench. 11 for Fleming, 4 for Feidanga, so they're getting some contributions from their backups.
And their defense, again, has been great. 38% Sacred Heart shooting from the field, 17 from 3.
Hermanson cross-court dangerous pass, but Fleming gets it. 10 to shoot. Now 7. There's the high screen. He splits the double team and finishes the layup. Wow.
Changing speeds, changing direction, essentially penetrating through the whole Sacred Heart team with the beautiful layup.
And if you're trapping off that screen roll, you cannot let him get through the middle. Gulovats the 3. Too strong. Fleming, great deflection to Hernandez for the rebound. And he'll slow it down. They get it to Hermanson with 2 minutes to play. A 20-point lead for the Blackbirds. The biggest of the game, 47-27. Hermanson gets it to Trevin Woods, who is deflected. No backcourt. 7 to shoot. Hermanson on the move again. Scoops it. Can't finish with the left hand. Allen the rebound. Cohen. Gulovats to Broom. Great bounce pass, but he blows the layup. That's the easiest one he's had all night.
Yeah, it was a great possession in transition. Cohen to Gulovats. Gulovats with a beautiful bounce pass. As you mentioned, that's probably the easiest shot Kane Broom has had all year, and he blew it.
Kind of tells the story for that Sacred Heart offense here in the first half. Hermanson. Hernandez to the rim. He can't finish. Rebounded by Allen. 2-on-1 fast break. Allen gets it outside. Hohen the 3. Short. Jordan Allen the offensive rebound. Out to Gulovats. Pumps the 3 into the lane. Can't hit the floater. Allen follows.
I'm not crazy about that 3 in transition. You're not going to win this game in one possession. A 2-on-1, you should get a perfect layup, an easy layup. Fortunately, Sacred Heart finished that. There's Iverson right there. They're just talking about 5 of 5. You can't do much better. I wasn't surprised with Kane Broom getting Player of the Year. I was surprised that it was unanimous, okay?
Force out of a final shot, the Pioneers get to be a very tough one. Hermanson, though, stripped by Hohen. Here comes Kane Broom, 2-on-1. Hohen gets it back, feeds Allen, finishes the layup, and a little run, it's 14. Woods tries to get it off before the buzzer, can't finish, and the Pioneers cut into that 20-point lead, a 6-0 run, Joe, to finish the half.
2 good defensive possessions. There's Jack Perry. He's arguing that Hermanson got fouled. Was trying to make it a point to keep him from going left. They've done a good job of containing him. But let's not forget the other number. Martin Hermanson, 9 points, 5 assists. He's the general of this offensive team.
And efficient as always, but another basket for the Pioneers. And now they have an 8-0 run coming from that first half.
That's a good call right out of the halftime. You get Jordan Allen, has the ability to go one-on-one.
And then Jordan Allen with the steal, but what a play knocked away by Hermanson. Wow.
And don't underestimate that play. An easy layup by Jordan Allen would have meant the 8th straight point by Sacred Heart. 4 at the end of the first half, and that would have been 4 to begin the second half.
Frink over to Zana. Both teams send out their starters. 12 to shoot. Santillo guarded by Broom. Down low. Zana stripped. 5 to shoot. Power dribble. Can't finish, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2. That foul's going to be down low on Jordan Allen, his second.
Here's Sacred Heart right there looking to turn defensive possessions into easy offense. Hermanson, just a good, solid player, makes a great steal.
4th turnover for Hermanson, but his second steal of the game, as well as Zana misses his first free throw. Zana, sophomore forward, 6'7", out of Nigeria, just a 52% free throw shooter. Now 0 of 4 from the line tonight.
And Sacred Heart has an advantage right now to get a little bit closer on those 2 missed free throws.
Broom to the basket, knocked away, but Hohen gets it. Broom the open 3. No good. Rebound tipped up to him by McKnight.
Yeah, dribble penetration that time by Hohen forced LIU to be in a scrambling situation. Kane Broom had the open 3, couldn't make it, but nobody blocked out McKnight.
Hermanson to the basket. Foul on the move. It's going to be on the floor.
Here's what I'm talking about right here. There's the penetration by Hohen. There's the kick. 2 guys are running out against LIU. from LIU against Kane Broom. McKnight, the crafty freshman, is right there to tip it in.
First foul on Hohen on that last play. Santil drives. Pass almost stolen. Hernandez down low. And then you get Frank on the offensive foul on the pass-off, careening into Jordan Allen.
What you're seeing now is Sacred Heart starting to step up, John, and make defensive plays. There's a beautiful crossover.
Oh, boy.
I think Jordan Allen had position, but I don't think he was that out of control. I don't think there was enough contact to make that call.
Well, the Oscars were last week, Joe. Perhaps he wants to get a late trophy. 3 fouls on Frank, though he stays in the game for now. Foul zone, stripped by Hernandez. Splits 2 defenders to the basket and finishes nicely. Hernandez with 8.
Yeah, I think a case of Tevin Falzone dribbling the ball too much. He probably should have one-bounced it, sensed the defensive pressure from the weak side and take a pull-up, turns into an easy basket.
And Broom with the sloppy pass, and Hernandez almost misses the dunk, but it falls in.
Yeah, I don't know why Kane Broom didn't go after him and hard foul him. Bruno only has 1 foul, and he let him go in there and finish the easy basket. Sacred Heart's got to step up with their intensity.
The lead back up to 14 after the 10-0 run. Cut it from 20 to 10 the first half, heading into half number 2. McKnight looking down low. Foul zone in the post on Frank. Turns, pumps, finishes.
Yeah, that's a great move. He got the ball in a good position. He tried to go to his left shoulder going right. Defense cut him off. He spun and made a contested shot. You know what, John? Falzone's got to step up. Jordan Allen's got to step up. Ball a lot. The turnovers are not as big as if you played in the 50s.
And we talk about the upsets. All 3 games are close right now. The top 1, 2, and 3 seeds the last 9 years have only lost 1 game in the NEC tournament in the quarterfinals. So we could have some changes in that statistic tonight. As Hermanson misses the layup, McKnight the other way. Hohen the open 3 on the baseline. Can't finish. Rebounded down low by Zana.
You know, it was a great transition for Sacred Heart, and it was a great decision by Quincy McKnight to hit Sean Hohen in the corner. The operation was a success, but the patient died. He just didn't make the shot.
Great look to Hernandez, who doesn't settle for the 3 and gets to the basket. He now has 12.
Yeah, looking like Odell Beckham. My man can get to the rim.
Speaking of getting to the rim, Kane Broom and 1. Norzana the foul. That's going to be 3 for him, and it'll be a chance for a traditional 3-point play for Kane Broom. He now has 12.
Yeah, if I'm Jack Perry, the coach of LIU, I got to keep reminding my players that Kane Broom is going to look to take over this game, limit his touches, and when he starts his drive to the basket, make sure he gives it up.
Glenn Feidanga checks into the game. Zana will head to the bench, and Frink did check out during that last time out. Trevin Woods came in for him. So as those 2 players in the front court, you have Hermanson and Santil in the backcourt with Hernandez as that swing wing. 11-point lead for the Blackbirds.
Yeah, and Sacred Heart playing man-to-man. If they get beat on a couple dribble drives, I think they'll go back to the zone.
And Falzone reaches in, whacks Feidanga on the arm, and that's going to be number 3 on Tevin Falzone.
Yeah, and that's a position that Sacred Heart is pretty weak, if you will, off the bench. They're undersized as it is with Falzone and with Jordan Allen. You got to go deep into that bench. You're playing guys that haven't played a lot, especially at the 5 position.
I thought that foul was on the catch, but they're going to send Feidanga to the line to shoot 2. And he makes the first. Glenn Feidanga, junior forward, 6'8", 240 pounds. Central African Republic having a nice game off the bench. Giving some much-needed production to the Blackbirds. Makes the second. Mofi Edekugo checks back into the game, and Falzone will head to the bench with those 3 fouls.
John, you're really good with those pronunciations.
I'm doing my best, Joe. High screen. The guard pick and roll. You don't see that very often, and the Blackbirds cover it well.
Well, when you screen guard on guard, they're like screens. LIU switched it.
Broom, stop and pop, in and out. Hernandez the other way. Nowhere to go with the ball. And he finally gets it to Feidanga. Now he's trapped at half court. Gets it to Santil. And now finally, LIU Brooklyn will reset, but just 11 seconds to shoot as they call out a play. High screen. Santil into the paint. Gets the Feidanga. Pump fake and finishes.
An old-fashioned pick and roll, a play that you see a lot run at the end of shot clocks. Sacred Heart had no weak side help. Easy two.
McKnight, offensive foul. Stepping in there. Guess who? Glenn Feidanga.
Miranda did a terrific job. You know, that Coach of the Year.
My best, Joe. High screen. The guard pick and roll. You don't see that very often. And the Blackbirds cover it well.
Well, when you screen guard on guard, they're like screen. LIU switched it.
Broom. Stop and pop. In and out. Hernandez the other way. Nowhere to go with the ball. And he finally gets it to Feidanga. Now he's trapped at half court. Gets it to Santil. And now finally, LIU Brooklyn will reset, but just 11 seconds to shoot as they call out a play. High screen. Santil into the paint. Gets the Feidanga. Pump fake and finishes.
An old-fashioned pick and roll, a play that you see a lot run at the end of shot clocks. Sacred Heart had no weak side help. Easy two.
McKnight, offensive foul. Stepping in there. Guess who? Glenn Feidanga.
Miranda did a terrific job. You know, that Coach of the Year race with Bashir Mason, even Anthony Latina. But FDU was picked ninth. And FDU plays with a lot of young players. Greg Miranda doing a terrific job to get his team into the second place and looking to advance in the semifinals.
And Wagner at double digits. They've had some bad losses to Robert Morris in the conference tournament before. Very happy to have that lead on the folks in Staten Island. Offensive foul. Santil careens into Hohen, draws the charge, and that's going to be foul number 3 on Santil.
And you know, John, going back to talking about the standings and the parity, you realize that LIU, the number 6 seed, beat Wagner twice.
Anybody can beat anybody. And if all the favorites win and they reseed, that will be the matchup on Saturday, LIU Brooklyn and Wagner. Boulevart's candidate for 3. Hernandez out in front of Trevin Woods, who finishes the layup. Nice pass from Hernandez.
Long shots mean long rebounds. Long rebounds mean easy and early basket. LIU taking advantage of their great defense.
Lead back up to 17. The Pioneers had it down to 10, but now it's back up to 17. McKnight pulls up.
And that's the shot Quincy McKnight has to take more. There he is, number 11, the freshman. The scouting report says play his drives. If he can stop, create space by his man, stop so he doesn't get his shot blocked, and take that pull-up, he'll be a more effective player in the future.
Santil out the woods, 11 to shoot, and he's bumped on the way to the basket. That'll be on the ground. Team foul number 5 on the Pioneers.
You know, John, back on February 11th, you see Falzone coming in here, getting a little bigger, taking out Sean Hohen. Back on February 11th, Jack Perry was talking about his LIU team being inconsistent. Well, they beat Wagner by 13, won 4 of 5, and they did it because they got better with their defense and their rebounding.
And the play of Martin Hermanson hasn't hurt as well. In his last 10 games, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He's played dynamite basketball, and he's got the lead back up to 17. Allen. Broom on the handoff, off one leg. Hits the jumper. That was Dirk Nowitzki-esque off one leg.
Yeah, Kane Brune is going to get his number. He's going to get his points. But the bottom line here is Sacred Heart has got to get defensive stops. Again, so they can get some easy baskets for Broom and his teammates.
And one of the keys that Jack Perry gave us during the week was that you got to make Broom score inefficient points. So far, they've done a decent job as Joel Hernandez has been anything but inefficient in this game. He is now 7 of 13 and has 14 points. Yeah,
and I think those 7 baskets have all been on dribble penetration. Here's what I'm talking about. It's a simple handoff. It's a little stutter. No weak side help from Brune. He finishes going left with his right hand.
And you mentioned Sacred Heart went big with their last substitution. They had their center guarding the 3-man, and Hernandez could not stay in front of him. Brune off the screen. Gets the foul zone. Runs right into Feidanga, forces it, nothing there, rebounded by Trevin Woods. Santil on move. Outside, Hernandez, the three. Short. Rebound tipped out and picked up by Hermanson. Iverson Fleming checked into the game during that last whistle.
This time of year, especially if there's parity with your opponent in your league, the team that plays hardest is going to have the advantage. LIU playing harder than Sacred Heart right now.
Hermanson stripped, and they say it does go off his knee. Hermanson doesn't think so, but that doesn't matter. It's going to be Pioneer basketball.
And Anthony Latina right now substituting Chris Robinson, the guard from Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx, and he likes Chris Robinson. He thinks he gives him energy. They certainly need some energy right now as they're down 17 big points with under 13 minutes to go.
With the ball. That's Robinson, guarded by Hermanson. Allen fakes the handoff to McKnight. Falzone wanted it. They didn't get him the ball in the post. 10 to shoot. Fleming. Room to the basket. McKnight, the runner, can't finish. Ball knocked out of Falzone's hands, and it's going to stay Pioneer basketball.
Yeah, if you watch, anytime Sacred Heart sets up a ball screen, LIU tries to ice the ball screen. They don't let him go. They don't let Broom go to his left hand, his strong hand. They force him to go right.
You see the three starters back into the game, Frank, Zana, and Santil, and they actually increased their lead with those three players on the bench. Very impressive. Falzone to the basket, tries to draw the foul, and they give it to him. And that's going to be on Frank, and he's walking right back to the bench because that's foul number 4 on him, and he knows he's coming out of this game.
Yeah, the bad news, it's his 4th foul. The good news is that they have a 17-point lead.
He did not like that call, by the way, as you can see.
You know, he's a nice kid. I talked to him at the shoot-around. He went to Florida International because he was recruited by Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas left, and he played for Richard Pitino that first year. Rick Pitino's son. They brought in another coach, and it just didn't work out. He wanted to come back home. He sat out last year. It was painful for him, but he said it's well worth it because he's really happy playing for Coach Perry, his staff, and this team.
Falzone hits both free throws. He now has 11. Trevin Woods back into the game as Frank heads to the bench. 12 minutes to play, a 15-point lead for the Blackbirds. They've been in control for most of this game. Zana, the high screen for Santil. To the basket, blocked by Falzone. Picked up by McKnight. Short baseline jumper for Robinson, can't finish. Falzone gets the offensive rebound. Double, loses it. Down low, McKnight. He's trapped on the baseline. Hands it off, Broom. Finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, and Falzone starting to flex his muscles. Shot block, offensive rebound, results in Kane Broom 2-pointer.
Falzone, one more block will put him in sole possession of the block lead in Division I play for Sacred Heart. Now he's tied. Hernandez, 10 to shoot, 13-point lead. Zana, high post, stripped away, Broom with it. He's going 1-on-2, behind the back, gets it back. Robinson, the three, too strong. And they're going to get McKnight going over the back on Santil.
Anthony's got the right idea. He's getting the good players, I think, and he's done a hell of a job. He works. He's a workaholic.
What are they going to need to do to make a comeback here tonight?
Yeah, there's still a lot of time, I think.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. Enjoy the rest of the game.
All right, thank you.
Send it back over to John.
Hi, John. Good job. It's good to see Coach By. Great coach, great person. It also reminds me, let's not forget, Howie Dickerman, longtime coach at Central, was there for 20 years. Just recently announced his retirement. Anthony Latina worked 6 years for him. I talked to Anthony about Howie Dickerman. He said, Joe, you know what? He just taught me how to run a program, and the concept of outworking people in recruiting, in practice, in games. The energy level that Howie had on a daily basis really inspired him to be a better coach. Howie Dickerman's going to be missed, especially around the Northeast Conference circles.
And Anthony Latina has that energy level as well, and right now so does his team. A Broom basket gets it down to 11, but then he turns it over, stolen by Hermanson. He's stripped from behind, gets it back, to the rim, swatted away down low by McKnight. Fleming off the dribble, pulls up. Iverson Fleming with 15 off the bench. Wow.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. It was really a mishmash possession, if you will. The ball was all over the place. Hermanson turned it over, and it wound up in Fleming's hand. And he's done nothing but stick it in the hole.
Backdoor Broom, nobody on him. Easy bucket. He has 21 to lead all scorers.
A well-executed high-low, great back cut. Kane Broom certainly knows how to get it and score it.
Broom had 38 points when these two teams played for the first time back on January 27th. So he has had some big games against Brooklyn this year. Santillo, down low Zana, and a foul in the paint. And that's going to be on Tevin Foul's zone. That's going to be number 4 on him. And he does not like the call. He had that block shot earlier. And he's also grabbed 5 rebounds.
Well, foul zone, Jordan Allen. These guys got to realize this is it for them. They don't win today. Season, career, over.
Zana now 0-4, misses the front end of that 1-and-1. Single bonus. McKnight with the tough finish to the basket.
Yeah, I thought he got fouled, too. I thought there was a lot of contact. But McKnight's going to the basket. He does that well. Has a great touch. Guess what? Sacred Heart's got it under double digits.
Down to 9. Santillo. Feidanga wisely does not shoot the long jumper. Instead hands it off to Hermanson. Goes to the basket. Nice look to Hernandez, but he can't finish. Rebound. Knocked out. Broom ahead of the field, and he finishes the lead down to 7.
And Jack Perry's got to get a timeout. Right now, Sacred Heart's got the momentum.
And Santillo, the rush 3, rebounded by the Pioneers. That's exactly what Latino wanted there. A quick 3 and a rebound.
A big possession. I think make or miss, Jack Perry's going to call a timeout. The momentum has definitely switched to the Pioneers.
We're getting close to that 8-minute media timeout. Edekugo in the post on Zana. Pulls up, can't finish. Zana loses the rebound. Picked up by Hermanson. He's trying to get timeout, and he does. They do give it to him before the jump ball. As multiple bodies on the floor.
Quincy McKnight more than anything that needed to be reprimanded, if you will.
So the ruling on the field stands.
Oh, God.
Inconclusive evidence up in the replay booth. Great job by your crew, by the way, getting those replays for those officials. They do a bang-up job, but nothing there. So they're going to play on. 10 to shoot for the Blackbirds. Hermanson crosses over. Great look down low, wide open Feidanga.
Yeah, Hermanson just makes good decisions. That's half a dozen assists for Martin right there, the sophomore from Iceland. Quincy McKnight, I think, got caught in the weak side watching his man. You got to see the play. Help when it's needed.
And that 10 points by Feidanga is a season high. In fact, doubling his season high. It was just 5 points. His career high is 15. Down low, equally wide open is Robinson, who finishes the layup.
And now both teams starting to show why they're good offensively. Good vision, good decision, good passes lead to easy baskets.
Hermanson out to Frank. He's got those 4 fouls. Hernandez to the rim. Outside to Fleming. He pulls up from 16. No good. Rebound knocked away by McKnight. Picked up by Broom. 2-on-2 fast break. Broom guarded well by Fleming, but he finishes the layup anyway.
Here's what makes him special. He can make tough shots look easy. He's going right. There's a little bit of contact. He not only has to shoot it with his left hand, but he's got to arc it over the defender from LIU. Beautiful move.
25 points and just a 5-point lead for the Blackbirds. Frink down low, Hernandez, and he finishes that one.
And Hernandez has also been an unsung hero, if you will. Here's a guy that averages 12 points. He's up to 16 already. Good offensive ball movement, LIU.
Unselfish pass by Frank. He could have taken that 3. Bulovats can't finish the 3 himself with a rebound tracked down by Robinson. Broom to the rim. Finishes over Feidanga.
So he can avoid contact in midair. He switches from right to left, lays it in again, making difficult shots look easy. That's 27 for the best player in the Northeast Conference, Kane Broom.
Unanimous player of the year and only a sophomore. Just a great, great player with an even brighter future. There's that zone again by Sacred Heart. They leave Hernandez wide open for 3, but he can't finish. And Jordan Allen the rebound. Pioneers ball down just 5. McKnight almost runs into trouble, but then rebalances. Fleming on Broom. Gets the handoff back from Allen. Gets around baseline. Finishes lefty. 29.
He's a scoring machine. He's taken over the game. He goes left. He goes right. He makes threes. He can do it all. Sacred Heart down only 3.
One possession game. Feidanga into the lane. Can't finish. Rebound he does.
And that's a big answer. First team all Northeast Conference. He flexes his muscles. That wide body, he creates space, and he finishes the putback.
Man-to-man, still being played by the Blackbirds. They've been running that high screen with Allen. Long 3 by Broom. Got it!
So right now, LIU's got to make an adjustment. Quite frankly, I would face guard Kane Broom. Do not let him touch the ball.
2-point lead, 32 points for Broom. Hernandez gets it to Frank. Reverse layup is good. Back to 4. 10 for Frank.
Frank for LIU, Kane Broom for Sacred Heart. Your best players have got to answer the bell. Those two have. Down the stretch, here we go. We got a great game.
They lead Boulevats. Long 3, way off air ball. Offensive rebound. McKnight has it. 9 to shoot. Back outside. Room's wide open. Straight away. 1-point lead.
With the shot clock running down, Chris Robinson, he could have forced up a 3. He knew that he had Broom open. Broom in rhythm. It's automatic right now for number 1.
35 for Broom. 4 off his season and career high of 39. Fleming. Hernandez avoids contact and finishes.
And that's a good possession, a great play by Fleming. Fleming has answered the bell offensively. He's done great, but that time he creates a play for his teammate, and Hernandez does what he does best. He takes it to the basket.
Allen, nothing there. Broom, backdoor, knocked away. Good defensive play by Fleming to create the steal. Back the other way. He has Hermanson, but Fleming decides to slow it down. And we have a timeout by Jack Perry. He wants to talk about it. A 3-point lead for the Blackbirds situation if Sacred Heart fouls, and 1 foul away from a 1-and-1 for LIU. It was a substitution issue. They resolve it. Santil does check into the game, and he's going to guard Kane Broom. Hermanson around the screen. Trevin Woods. And Hermanson doesn't take the 3. Instead, he drives. Swatted by foul zone. Second block of the game for him. And the Blackbirds will inbound on the baseline with 9 to shoot.
And give Sacred Heart a ton of credit. They feel they can win this game. Here we go. Hermanson probably should have dumped it off. Hernandez was open under the rim. He took it himself. Foul zone with the block.
9 to shoot. Hernandez drives baseline and throws it down with one hand with authority.
Yeah, not a good closeout by Quincy McKnight. When you're guarding Joel Hernandez, who's 0 for 4 from 3, you don't run all the way at him. You run at him and you play his drive. But Hernandez went right by him, easy dunk.
Lead back to 5, 20 for Hernandez. Floater. Broom, too strong. But foul zone comes down with the rebound. They did reset the shot clock. That ball did tip the rim. And now a foul by Hernandez. That'll be their 16th foul. The next foul will put them in the 1-and-1 penalty. Just the first foul on Hernandez. Excuse me, Joe.
And, John, there's the drive right there. Quincy McKnight with a bad closeout. Also, no weak side help. You're only going to win if you're Sacred Heart, if you're playing good team defense. But you got to give Sacred Heart credit. John, they were 14 for 37 in the first half. The second half, they're 17 for 28.
And we talked about this potential defensive matchup earlier, Joe. It looks like they're going to put Joel Hernandez on Kane Broom here in the final 2 minutes. We mentioned it. Hernandez pretty clean right now. He only has 1 foul, so he can play him very aggressively. Foul zone to the basket, can't finish. Gets his own rebound, goes up again, fouled, cannot finish. Foul zone will be shooting 2. And let's see who they get that foul on. If it's on Frank, that's number 5. But they don't. They get it on Feidanga.
Now here's the drive. It looks like he got fouled on the drive right there. Foul zone, doing his best Jerome Frink imitation by trying to crash the offensive glass. He's got 11 points. He's got 6 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Foul zone does not want to go home.
And he now has 12, the best free throw shooter on the team at 79%. The senior forward from Newton, Massachusetts, and he makes his second.
Sacred Heart needs to dig in, get a stop. Look to get an easy basket. If not, look for Anthony Latina maybe to call a timeout to set up a good play to get Kane Broom the ball and ignite. When you're guarding Joel Hernandez, who's 0 for 4 from 3, you don't run all the way at him. You run at him and you play his drive. Hernandez went right by him, easy dunk.
Lead back to 5-20 for Hernandez. Floater. Broom, too strong. But foul zone comes down with the rebound. They did reset the shot clock. That ball did tip the rim. And now a foul by Hernandez. That'll be their 16th foul. The next foul will put them in the 1-and-1 penalty. Just the first foul on Hernandez. Excuse me, Joe.
And, John, there's the drive right there. Quincy McKnight with a bad closeout. Also, no weak side help. You're only going to win if you're Sacred Heart, if you're playing good team defense. But you got to give Sacred Heart credit. John, they were 14 for 37 in the first half. The second half, they're 17 for 28.
And we talked about this potential defensive matchup earlier, Joe. It looks like they're going to put Joel Hernandez on Kane Broom here in the final 2 minutes. We mentioned it. Hernandez pretty clean right now. He only has 1 foul, so he can play him very aggressively. Foul zone to the basket, can't finish. Gets his own rebound, goes up again, fouled, cannot finish. Foul zone will be shooting 2. And let's see who they get that foul on. If it's on Frank, that's number 5. But they don't. They get it on Feidanga.
Now here's the drive. It looks like he got fouled on the drive right there. Foul zone, doing his best Jerome Frink imitation by trying to crash the offensive glass. He's got 11 points. He's got 6 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Foul zone does not want to go home.
And he now has 12, the best free throw shooter on the team at 79%. The senior forward from Newton, Massachusetts, and he makes his second.
Sacred Heart needs to dig in, get a stop. Look to get an easy basket. If not, look for Anthony Latina maybe to call a timeout to set up a good play to get Kane Broom the ball in a one-on-one situation.
A 3-point lead for the Blackbirds. Santil pulls up for 3. Way short. Rebound tracked down by McKnight.
Don't like that shot. Too long a shot and too quick in the possession.
Foul zone the open 3. No good. Rebounded by Feidanga. That was halfway down. .120 to play, a 3-point lead for the Blackbirds. They're going to use some clock. 15 to shoot. Hermanson goes around the Feidanga screen, and then a foul by Robinson. You don't want to do that. Martin Hermanson, the second best free throw shooter in the conference at 89%, will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Yeah, when you're guarding Hermanson, you look at him and you say, this is not a fast, athletic kid, but he certainly knows how to change speeds. You've got to play more with your feet than with your arms.
He has missed one already tonight. Not that time. He has 13.
You don't have to panic right now if you're Sacred Heart. You got 2 timeouts left. You got a great player in Kane Broom, and you got 1:12 to go.
And they trail by 5. No need to shoot a 3 here, right, Joe?
No. You want to get something going to the basket. If you can drive it and score a quick layup or drive and kick for an open 3, you'll take it.
Broom, back to foul zone, drives on Frink, who has those 4 fouls. Spins, tries to finish, can't. Rebound deflected to Broom. Open 3. No good. Frink tracks down the rebound. He gets it to Santil, and now Sacred Heart might have to foul. Let's see if they do. No, they'll play it clean. Hernandez dribbling on Robinson. Goes to the rack, and he's stripped and fouled down low, and that's going to be the second foul on Robinson on as many possessions back-to-back. It'll be Hernandez to the line to shoot 2.
You know what? It might have been a good idea to foul Hernandez earlier in that possession. He's only 63 from the line. He has not shot a free throw. But right now, again, Sacred Heart needs a quick basket, whether it's a 2 and a 3, and they need to call a timeout.
This is a 1-and-1. Has to hit the first. Does.